Okay, welcome to the Let's Enjoy Piano Self-Expression method. We're going to look at coordinating left and right hand with the 12-bar blues and throwing in some fills, endings. And if you don't have the book, pick up a copy. Let's Enjoy Piano Self-Expression method. It has all the basic developmental skills that you need to develop your self-expression, improvisation, accompaniment, jamming, and composing. Basic concepts. And the basic thing of blues and jazz with a walking bass is coordination of left and right hand, knowing when you're on the beat or off the beat. So the basic idea of the walking bass is a good way to have your own built-in metronome. That's your 4 beats, that's your quarter notes. And to start coordination, you do everything on the beat. So here's your blues scale, which is on page 73. And do everything on the beat. So, page 42 also deals with on the beat and off the beat. And I believe 46 and 47 shows integrating the right hand and the left hand. So those are the, if you have the book, those are the pages to look at. But you're the boss of you. So as long as you have that built-in metronome going slowly, that's your counts. And if we start with the blues scale, we start it first on the beat. Now, if you are doing it in one way and you do it the reverse, that is rearrangement. And that on page 74 shows the 4 ways to rearrange an idea. So if you have the blues scale, you can go up, you can go down, or you can rearrange. You can go 1, make a little idea, a little motive. But coordination, stay on the beat. I used elimination, so but I stayed on the beat. Now, to really make it starting to swing, you have to feel the upbeat, and the upbeat is between the left hand fingers. So you have 1, 1, and 2, and 3, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. That's the upbeat. So if you just try to do it slowly, that's when you start developing a little swing. But just take one thing at a time. Worry about upbeats and downbeats. Then the coordination of the beats are page 42, which is starting off the beat and coming on. And on the beat is the accent. So if you come off the beat and you start off the beat and come on, you're accenting. The word that I use is record. So the record is the accent. Starting off the beat, going on to the beat. Now, if I go to the next step, go off the beat, come off the beat, and I go on the beat and off the beat again, that has the sound of the word tomato. Because you're accenting the middle note. Tomato, that's where the A is. Or that's where the accent is. As opposed to the other word, clarinet, which starts on the beat and goes off the beat and comes back on. On. So that doesn't swing that much, but you can integrate that. But the tomato, when you start on the offbeat. Start on the offbeat, which is between the fingers. Sometimes at the end of the measure, it's called the push beat, when you just have something like this. So it's right after 4. It could be a chord, it could be a note, but this works out nicely with the G7 chord and the B diminished, the F and the A diminished, and that's just using the push beat at the end, the and after 4. Sorry. That would be on the beat. So we wait till we go off the beat, right? We start on off the beat. And then you might want to put an ending on there. There's a number of jazz endings. The most famous one, I think, is the za-za ending, which is the key of C, what's called the flat 2. It's a D flat 7, flat 2 dominant 7, to the C major 7. And the dominant 7 is broken up in plurality with an F diminished chord in the right hand and D flat in the left. That makes it the dominant D7, D flat 7 diminished plurality, and it's falling to a C major 7, which is the resting chord, and it has an E minor as the top of a C major 7. You can look at page 38B, 7th Heaven, and you can get the idea of the plurality concept of a dominant 7, minor 7, and major 7. So, that's an ending of D flat 7, the za-za. Or you can add in the 9 is up here. This is the D flat, the root, but this is the 9. That's D flat 9 to C major 9. C major 7, and you add the 9, it's called C major 9. So you can have, okay, so you can end or, okay, you give it a little more. Okay, another ending is the famous Count Basie ending. Just with you have the root, wherever the root is, the C on top. You have the 4, the sharp 4, and the 5. And then a bass down there. So you can end it. Or just go right to that. Okay, so there's a couple interesting endings. And the blues scale ending, you can come down with the blues scale. Right into the za-za. Or the 6-9 chord. Put your third finger on the, put your thumb on the 3rd, the 6, and the 9. So you can come down. That's another ending. Okay, so you have a lot of things going on in improvisation, and just take one concept at a time. Upbeats, downbeats. Try a different fill or try a different ending. We'll work on fills. Fills, on the blues scale is composed of the 1, 4, and 5, and the blue notes, which are the flat 3, the flat 5, and the flat 7. Those are called the blue notes. Even though they're black, they're blue. And you combine white, black, white, black, white, black. So it's 1, flat 3, 4, flat 5, 5, and flat 7. So you have the 3 three major notes of the scale, 1, 4, and 5, and you have the flat 3 and the flat 5 and the flat 7. That makes the blues scale. So if you use the flat 3 and the flat 5, I call the V slide. So you can always put that in as a little fill or as an ending. So we can go down and we can play. And then a tremolo on the C7, which is E diminished. Dominant 7 has a diminished. Sometimes that's used nicely with the dirty blues blues scale. With a tremolo. So that's another ending. And a fill. If you're doing, let's say, the classic When the Saints. Or slow down. Now you're at G here. You can do again the flat 3 and the flat 5 of G. There's a little fill on that. Okay, that's the V slide that way. F doesn't really work because of the visualization of the F blues scale doesn't have the. It's a little harder to coordinate. So just work on G and the C. One of my students started here. That's another way to start on the flatted 5 and the flat 7, and you can have that and that fill too. So that's using the top blue notes. Then there's the classic Duke Ellington ending of Take the A Train when he's doing. You start at the C and go down to the 3rd and walk up 4, sharp 4, 5. Or if you're in the middle of the song, stop on the 5, then you're ready to start again. And I usually start with a basic first inversion C major, C6, or I call it cage. Then you're off to on the beat. There's also motives on page 72. On the F7 or the C7, you have a diminished. You have a diminished on the F7. That's the top of the F7. And the diminished G7 is the B diminished. That's where we had the push beat at the end. And then back to the cage. That's the Basie uses that a lot. Right up the slide off the blue note. So you can use that idea. You slide off the 3rd of the G. When you're on C, slide off the 3rd of the C. The touch, the articulation is important. That's page 48. Phrasing, articulation, rubato doesn't really work with blues. a little rubato. You can, sway the beat a little bit. And then dynamics are important too. So you got a number of pages: 46, 47, 48, 42. Freewheeling too, about 80, 82, or around there, around 80, is the freewheeling. It gives you a little idea of everything. Some grace notes, just kind of you can use some grace notes too. That's kind of using a grace note, sliding off. That's record. 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 You start on the beat. 42. As opposed to record. Get any little words you want that puts the accent on the right syllable. In other words, where the accent falls is where the beat is. So like clarinet, which I use, is the right on the beat, off the beat, and back to the beat. And then you have tomato. So I used like all the endings when I played in a restaurant, and I would end the night. I'd do some blues, and I'd end with 5 different endings, and I'd end sometimes with the. So you can really embellish things. So I hope that kind of gives you a hodgepodge of just experimenting, fooling around with some purpose in mind of off beats, on beats, blue notes, little words that have different accents. But try to keep as best you can that basic left hand going and use that as your metronome. And then you can do that with any song, basically, with the coordination of left and right hand. Just know where your beats and where your on beats, and visualize your positions. And you can have a lot of fun with the blues. It's endless. It depends on your imagination. So I hope that helps you out. Any comments, subscribe to the channel and send me any comments. Email at Let's Enjoy Piano so that if you any other type of videos you'd like to see. And hopefully this answers a lot of questions and gave you some food for thought and experimentation. So have a lot of fun with the blues.